Hi, my name is Jake Mousel, and I will be teaching a geometry class for the Lancaster Learning Link this upcoming school year. When I'm not making coffee, gelato, or sarcastic comments, you might find me waxing philosophic about mathematics and how numbers and principles that we find there explain or describe or quantify the world that we live in, how we understand it, and how things work in it. There's something to be said about physics. For lack of fuller explanation, physics is basically applied calculus. There's something unique about how a sound wave can be described by a trigonometric function. And geometry is the foundation of that. Geometry, especially Euclidean geometry, begins with this three-dimensional world we live in, beginning with points, lines, planes, and getting into space. So how do we reckon with, how do we understand how things operate, how things work in this world? And that's the basis of Euclidean geometry. That's where things get started. The other side of geometry is that we start talking about logic. How do we make a deductive argument? How do we make an inductive argument? How do we prove something to be true beyond a shadow of a doubt based on things that we already know? So the logic side is also a fun part of that. We might even get into some Lewis Carroll, the Alice in Wonderland guy, wrote a little book on symbolic logic. Very keen mathematician. So as much as we can pull into this to make it more than just computations, plug in some numbers, here's a formula to memorize, the more of it that we understand the world and better argue about how the world operates, that's what I'm looking for out of this class. The textbook we'll be using is titled Geometry, Seeing, Doing, and Understanding. Its author is Harold Jacobs, put out by Freeman Publishing Company. That description should be up there as well. So look forward to seeing you in this geometry class and going for a wild ride into the nuts and bolts of how our world works.